Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Wednesday, July the 26th is race number 4 at Saratoga. It's the Grade 2 Honorable Miss Handicap. We're going to take a look at this. I guess you could call it a field, Mike. What's up with Saratoga? At Del Mar over the weekend, full fields, beautiful weather. At Saratoga, there are 4-horse fields and you.
Yeah, well, listen, if you've been following New York racing, this isn't exactly a surprise. Stakes races, full fields and stakes races have been pretty hard to come by in New York for the last year or so, Dan. So, we'll see if they can turn that around somehow. Obviously, this, as far as, betting goes, handicapping is a different thing. As far as betting goes, there's not much of interest here.
You're absolutely right. This is not a good betting race at all. Of course, there's no show wagering, but it could have an impact on the filly and mare sprint division later on in the year, because Echo Zulu, Frank's Rockette, and even Mary Quite Contrary, the top 3 choices on David Aragona's morning line, they're all really good filly and mare sprinters.
Yeah, I mean, particularly Echo Zulu, I think, Dan, it's going to be interesting to see how much more improvement she has in her. We've seen her 9 times now. Maybe a bit of an abbreviated campaign last year as a 3-year-old. She was still pretty good, came off the layoff and looked all right to me, winning that grade 3 at the end of May.
Again, please click or scan the QR code for Race of the Day access on mobile, which includes free Formulator Pass performances. Let's take a look at the Timeform US Pace Projector. Only a 4-horse field. No surprise, there's a blue bar scenario that favors front runners, and Echo Zulu has a lot of speed from the inside. Frank's Rockette seems more tactical. I think she will sit off Echo Zulu, but if Echo Zulu gets to the front and slows it down, she's going to be real tough.
She doesn't have to go fast. It's a big advantage for her. I do think they'll come out running from the rail here, Dan. She's a pretty fast filly anyway. Against a field like this one, you're really not supposed to play too many games. She's going to be odds on. She has the inside. Just break running, go to the front, and then see what happens.
If the pace somehow gets hot, you'll notice the number 3 chiclet on Mary Quite Contrary. There's an LP flag indicating the fastest late pace rating from Timeform US. Echo Zulu, the horse to catch, the horse possibly to beat from the inside post for trainer Steve Asmussen. She ran good second in last year's Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint, and she came off the layoff with a really workable performance in the grade 3 winning colors. You can build off of that effort. She showed speed from the start. It was not a strong field, but she kept on running in the stretch, and I'm sure Steve Asmussen has her tight for this one.
I felt the same way about her winning colors last time. I mean, it's not like she was ever in danger of losing, and she just sort of gradually got away from that field through the stretch. It wasn't going to blow your doors off, but it was a really good starting off point for her. Listen, there are two fillies in this race, Dan, who have triple-digit buyers on their card already. She's not one of those. So I guess maybe if you wanted to take a shot against her, you could point to that and say maybe she's vulnerable here. She has a multiple grade 1 winner, however.
One of those triple-digit buyer earners is next. It's the number 2, Frank's Rockette, a millionaire. She has 5 triple-digit buyer speed figures on her scorecard. She was a good second in this race last year. Mike, I know you're not her biggest fan. She's really improved as she's gotten older, however. She's won 4 of her last 5 starts. Of course, the only loss came in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint, where she finished way behind Echo Zulu. But I thought she did some good things last time out at Churchill Downs. The pace wasn't very fast. She advanced up the inside, got out, and grinded it out.
Look, she's a really, really nice mare now, Dan. She's been really good from the start of her career. She just happens, at least in my opinion, and maybe her past performances actually bear that out, just happens not to be, a top filly sprinter. She's really good. She's just not, at the top of that class. Yeah, she has all these triple-digit buyers now coming into this race. I'll just point out that she had the same thing going for her going into the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint last year. 3 triple-digit buyers on the way in. Took a little money in that race and was nowhere behind Echo Zulu. She's just not that kind of horse. Bill Mott has done a great job with her, finding the right spots for her to run in, including that last one that you just mentioned, Dan. 2 graded stake blowout wins in her prior 2 starts. He finds an overnight race for her.
The number 3 is Mary Quite Contrary. And if you like her in this race, 3 things have to happen. A, you're banking on a little bit of upside, which certainly isn't out of the question. She's relatively lightly raced. She's never been off the board from 8 lifetime starts. You're hoping for a little bit of pace up front because she is a true late-running sprinter, and you're hoping 6 furlongs isn't a bit too sharp. She usually specializes at 7. Here's her most recent start at Keeneland in early April. She faces the reigning Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint champion, Goodnight Olive. She comes on the outside with the run, and she's getting to this horse in the stretch, Mike. She runs on at the end. I do wonder if 3/4 is a bit sharp for her.
I worry about that too, especially in a race like this one where they're probably just not going to go that fast in front of her. You have to be, regardless of whether you like her in this race on Wednesday or not, you have to be really encouraged by the race we're watching right now. That was a pretty good performance. She didn't give any ground at all to Goodnight Olive in that Grade 1 race, first time out for Jug McGahee. She could take another step forward here, Dan, and put herself in the picture.
Dr. B earned her triple-digit Beyer speed figure over a very wet track in the Gopher Wand, going a one-turn mile in her final start of 2022. Now, she's had 2 runs back for Butch Reed. The first one was okay. In the Grade 3 Vagrancy, she sort of regressed last time out against Goodnight Olive. The runner-up in that race, Wicked Halo's really good. She came back to win at Ellis Park, a stakes race, with a 90 Beyer speed figure. She's an outsider, upgrade if wet, I guess.
Yeah, I guess a wet track would certainly make you take a second look at her. I don't really know what to do with her now, Dan. I liked her last year. I thought she ran several really good races. Her vagrancy off the layoff this year, really good performance. She did not get a good trip in that race and still ran really well. I don't know what happened last time, but that was not very good at all. We'll see if she can rebound.
Before we take a look at our top selection, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for the latest DRF videos. Top pick time for the Honorable Miss. She's going to be really tough to beat. Echo Zulu from the Inside Post. I think she can win here. I'm looking forward to a nice fall campaign for her.
Yeah, me too. I don't really know what to say about it, Dan. I mean, listen, if somebody told me that they were going to bet against her in this race, they liked one of the other 3 in here, I wouldn't say you're crazy. I don't think it's impossible for her to lose here. I just think she's probably going to win, and I'm not going to bet against her.
We're both going 1-3 in the Grade 2 Honorable Miss. It's the DRF race of the day. Potential Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint implications in this year's Honorable Miss at the Spa. Good luck.